Oh, well, you wouldn't have watched football this week anyway. Even if I was here, you wouldn't have watched football.
Why is it late?
Yeah, it's a 2:30 AM game on.
Yeah, I'm going to have
On Sunday. I'll be landing in time for it, which is good.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. In today's matchup, we should have a fun one on our hands. It's the Jaguars coming in at 4-7, going up against the Broncos, who come in at 2-9. So for the call of this Week 13 matchup, let's bring in our commentary team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, first opened in 1995. There's a look inside ever.
Hey, hit me again. What a fly. It's like half dead or something.
Maybe it's blind.
Well, it shouldn't, obviously. It can't really survive in cold weather, can it? Flies.
No.
Where did there come by?
I'm just being nice. I'm letting it into the warmness.
Bank Field here in the River City of Jacksonville, Florida. Today, we've got a Week 13 matchup for you here between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They come up in an offset eye. Now a carry, it's C.J. Anderson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, it'll be second down. And I don't want to say that this offense starts and ends with Demaryius Thomas, but sometimes it starts and ends with Demaryius Thomas.
There's no reason you can't say it if it's the truth. He is the alpha and the omega of the receiving corps.
Lynch looking to throw on second. Throwing right side, that's complete, Demaryius Thomas. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. And time to take a look at the Jaguar defense.
Darrelle Revis is on the short list of the best corners who ever played in the NFL. Revis Island is where wide receivers go to hide.
They run it again with Anderson. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on third and a tough 9.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A fake to Anderson. Now rush coming, and he's taken down. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
That's pulled in at the 32. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a first carry for T.J. Yeldon. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Bortles to throw on second down. It's caught by Carew. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing now is Bortles. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he's brought down after a good game. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Now look at the starting unit, and here's to you, Mr. Robinson.
Oh, I like that one. Allen Robinson, I love coming out of Penn State. Everyone kept telling me he's not fast enough, and I kept pointing to the film and saying yes, but he catches everything. He's definitely a threat.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. On second down, here's Bortles. This will be caught at about the 6. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Allen Hurns, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up. But you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. Wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Second down now after the pass completion. They run. Anderson. And he's brought down. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were...
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Manti Te'o. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They go play action for Yeldon. Now it's Bortles. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to hit Rashad Green, and now it's third down. And a look now at how the Broncos line up defensively.
Von Miller is so good that he doesn't even need a nickname. His ability to bend and dip on the pass rush, unequaled in this league.
And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller, since the screen pass was available, whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Yeldon, the lone running back. Now a play fake here on first down. Backing up. He finds Hearns left side. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Green alone out to the right. They go play action here on first down. Completes it to Lee. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it first and goal.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Bortles to throw once more. That's caught at the 1. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll bring up a second and goal. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
When that works, your offensive coordinator looks like a genius. When it doesn't, it leaves folks saying, what are you doing? Down here, I'd rather have my tailback running off tackle than something off the radar like this.
They come out here in the eye. Bortles going to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, on comes the Jaguars. Jason Myers now for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will make our score 9-0. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. In the backfield is Anderson. A fake to Anderson. Now it's Lynch. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Ray Armstrong coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. And the offense now will try to regroup after the sack on second down. And they'll add a DB in the secondary here on 3rd and 14. And complete into the hands of Fowler. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Here we go now. Z. Here we go. Green, 90. So. Left.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Yeldon. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
It doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. From the gun on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And if you're the defense and those D tackles, you like that they're trying to run the football here against your 4-3, don't you?
Yeah, because they tend to eat things up because they are so strong and physical, and especially when they play with leverage where they get lower than the offensive linemen and control them. And what I love about the good defensive tackles, they can play over the guards, they can slide and play over the center. Nobody in the offense likes that day when they have to deal with those guys.
In the red zone this time. Here comes the D swarming to the line. And now Lynch sliding out of the pocket. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Darius Hayward-Bay, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes
this is caught inside the 15. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Allen Hurns with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
On second down, Anderson. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. Still 9 yards to go on 3rd down.
Let's go!
On 3rd down, Lynch. He's got his man here. It's Green. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36.
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
Here's Lynch to throw. And he's got it complete to Fowler. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, a 22. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green.
They'll throw on 1st down with Lynch. And no escaping this time. It's he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Okay, even just being nice, the last 2 plays were not very good offensively. So if you're the play caller, was it the team's execution? Or was it strategy? If it was execution, you continue to call the game that's where you're calling it. If it's strategy, change up what you're doing and figure it out.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded at the 7. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jared Crick in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Again, we'll see the pistol here. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And some space here. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Jaguars. Lance Dunbar, 84 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw can complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 6. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left. On first down, it's Lynch. His throw incomplete. Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. In the backfield is Anderson. Second and 10, it's Lynch again. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there.
The name of the game, as always on defense, put pressure on the quarterback. And that's exactly what they've done today. It looks like they've got him a little bit rattled. That would have been the second interception in the first half.
All right, here we go.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. From the gun on third down, Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. And that'll bring up fourth down on a big sack with a loss of 5. Here's Riley Dixon now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And he fields it cleanly. Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. He's going to air one out. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Darius Hayward-Bay, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Fans do love the long ball, don't they? And he already found his guy once. Tried to give him another chance there, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Couldn't connect, but as you alluded to, he does have that touchdown from earlier, trying to keep him in the rhythm. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. Lynch to throw. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And now Lynch. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The former Broncos scored a touchdown for him in the Super Bowl. Malik Jackson in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Losing.
Yeah, my team's fucked. Just like decimated. I have injuries galore.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now Paxton Lynch on third and long. He's got it. The tight end, Jeff
Kind
Hireman.
of both draw.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And whistle blown. A timeout here is taken, and it's taken by the kicking team. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Here we go on fourth down with Lynch. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I
was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. He finds Hearns left side. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Green, 90.
Bortles will try again on second down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Being chased out left. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And Myers able to knock it through. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something. Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of his first half of play. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. Now the return, Rashad Green. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Yeldon, the lone running back. Bortles going to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. So they go out of the gun, try to delay it on the draw, but nothing there.
Yeah, good play by the defense there. They sniffed it out and made sure there were no gaps for him to run. If you're the offense, though, you have to think to yourself, maybe a good play action down the road.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Uses the stiff arm. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They start the drive with Anderson. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Shift together here from the D-line. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. There's Lynch. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move.
Lynch fighting. He fumbles. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Trying to lay one up deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
Here's Lynch to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Here we go now.
They'll try and get the run game going. This is Yeldon. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he's got it to Hearns. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. 1st down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Watch the curl. Here we go.
Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hits 0, 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
Another pistol look here. After the penalty, it's Yeldon. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Looked like he had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, if there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
They give it to Anderson.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
On 3rd down, Lynch. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is,
pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Bortles now on 1st down. Pass incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
To throw, it's Bortles. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
So the Broncos coming out now. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. So the offense has it 1st and 10. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. And on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain. It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead.
7 yards to go on 2nd down.
Black 58 round.
They'll run it again with Yeldon. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
From midfield, here's Bortles. Looking deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Black 58 rounds. Black 58 rounds. There we go.
They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Give him 7 on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Bortles looking to, and that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Rashad Green, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Here's Anderson as they begin this series on the ground. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And quickly, they get to the line.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, what was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
On second down, here's Lynch. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass. Defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. On second down, here's Yeldon. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. On play action, it's Bortles. Escaping the pressure right. Flush to his right. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Here's Brad Nortman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. In the backfield is Anderson. Now they'll run it on the toss, and he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now Lynch to throw, and it's caught over the middle by the tight end Green. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. In motion left goes a tight end. Booker on first down. And some room to work. They'll get 17 yards there. And it'll be good for a Denver first down.
Well, depending on the temperament of the head coach, he's either turning to the bench and screaming, "Where was that all game?" Or maybe he's just kind of keeping it to himself and saying, okay, it's something to build on, and a positive comes out of a bad game because those are going to happen from time to time. We'll see how he gets his team ready to go in the future. But that run right there, that's what they were looking for.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Here's Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. And the D looking like they may blitz. Here we go. Lynch on fourth down. And Fowler's got it. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. Give him 23 yards on the pickup. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down. To throw is Lynch. And he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that line?
Now, hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They'll try and run with Booker. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they've met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Let's go. 319. 319. Watching that, Marty.
3rd and 2. Now Lynch. C.J. Anderson, the intended target. And it's 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. You and I talk a lot about these special teams and how important those can be. That comes into play here. The defense, not very alert.
And this is something you work on all the time as a defender. Always saying, alert, be ready for the fake. But sometimes you fall asleep anyway.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count.
Now let's go.
Lynch going to try and throw for it. And they're going to get the 2-point conversion. Caught in the end zone. And that cuts the lead a bit further. So still lots of work left to do. But here comes the onside kick. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
20, T.J. Yeldon, touchdown. Jaguars. T.J. Yeldon, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. 2nd and 10 now. It's Lynch. And this is caught by Hayward Bay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And now they're in the hurry-up. Throwing here, Lynch pitch on first down. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did. Think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. The 20, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The extra point now coming from Myers. Now, these have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. And they'll indeed take a knee. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes